Gemini rising. This is a very important month for you because not only are we going to start off December with the new moon in your opposite sign, but also we have a full moon in your sign, and also your ruler Mercury is currently retrograde, but it will go direct on the same day as a full moon in Gemini. So a lot to discuss. Let's start off with the new moon in Sagittarius on December the 1st that occurs at 9 degrees. So this will occur in your 7th house of relationships and other people. Now, this is a highly charged area of life for you because you already have Mercury retrograde in this area of life. So many of you may have been going through some ups and downs, some frustrations or tensions, or really re-evaluating your relationships. Mercury retrograde is a time where a lot of shadows come up. Yes, you will hear about Mercury retrograde slowing things down and, things don't go as you want them to go. And of course, there is a major part of Mercury retrograde, like stirring the drama with things not going the way you want them to go and blocks coming about, and there's a lot of tension, friction, and frustration. But also this gives you an opportunity to do some shadow work, a lot of shadow work, because it makes you go over the things that are just not working out, or the things that you've kind of ascended or evolved from. And if there's any type of energy that is still stuck in you, your mind, your thoughts, your emotions, or your life, there needs to be some type of resolution or healing. And for you, it's been impacting relationships. So yeah, there could have been some relationship drama, or trying to figure out your relationship, or maybe there was some miscommunication or just shadows coming up that have really pushed you and have given you some thoughts that perhaps were playing in your mind, but now they're just like really coming in the forefront, and you're having to make some decisions. So you're trying to figure out relationships, or maybe as a couple, or even if you're single, you're going through a lot of healing. You're doing a lot of internal healing when it comes to relationships, the relationship you have with yourself, or that you have with somebody else, or maybe if you've broken up with somebody. So there's a lot of shadow work and healing occurring with this new moon in Sagittarius. This is showing that you are moving in a positive direction, and that things are going to progress, things will change, because new moons are about new beginnings, new cycles, and new chapters. And this marks the beginning of it. This marks the beginning of the cycle. This cycle will continue. This is just like the first part of it with the new moon in Sagittarius, and you'll see a major change and shift when we go into the second half of December, when we have your full moon, which I'll get into. So this new moon in Sagittarius, you will see a positive turn, a sneak peek into what's to come regarding relationships and other people, especially if you've been going back and forth with this area of life. December the 6th, we have Mars going retrograde in the sign of Leo at 6 degrees. Mars will be in retrograde until February the 23rd, 2025, and this will be impacting your 3rd house of communication, learning, and traveling. So the 3rd house, this is your area of life. This is your area of life. You are a Gemini ruled by Mercury. You are the 3rd sign of zodiac sign, and the 3rd house is all that you're about, all that you represent, all that plays a huge part in your life. So Mars going retrograde here, you can definitely find yourself getting a little frustrated. There can be a lot of tension and conflicts, because Mars is a god of war and chaos, and Mars is all about stamina and movement and action. It wants to move forward. It's all about drive. And with Mars retrograde, you have to kind of take it slow. You have to kind of like go within, and that can be frustrating because as an air sign, you just want to move around. There can also be some conflicts with siblings, cousins, friends, or even like in your environment or your neighborhood. There can also be like conflicting thoughts that you kind of like experience, especially because the 3rd house rules over like your mind and your thoughts and learning. Especially also if you're working on a project, you want to move forward, and as an air sign, things just naturally come to you. You can write quickly, type quickly, speak quickly. You're just so fluent and witty, but Mars retrograde is kind of holding you back. And that's not a negative thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just because Mars retrograde wants you to reflect, redirect your energy, reanalyze, reorganize so that you can move forward efficiently. So the next few months will be about slowing down, taking your time. It can get frustrating, but there's a higher purpose and a higher lesson behind it. December the 7th, we have two exciting things occurring. We have Venus that moves into Aquarius and Neptune going direct at 27 degrees. Let's start off with Venus. So Venus will be moving into your 9th house. So this is a very important area of life for you also because it's very similar to the 3rd house. It rules over your higher mind. It rules over studying and education, higher learning, travel, foreign places, your spiritual beliefs and philosophy. So this could be a time where that is a huge focus as well. Now, as soon as Venus moves into Aquarius, it will be in a conjunction with Pluto. So there can be intensity with other people that you are either like learning with. Maybe you're traveling and you meet somebody or somebody you know from like a foreign place. Like there could be some intensity. And the thing with Pluto and Venus coming together is that it can just get so triggering and a lot of wounds can come up, and you know, you can be just very dominated by your unconscious. So Pluto's shadow traits are compulsive behavior. It can be very possessive. There can be some like tendencies of feeling insecure and jealous and just wanting to dominate the other person. So these unconscious traits can either come out of you or other people. So that's something you have to be careful of. Aside from relationships, this is great for spiritual transformation, great for like your higher mind, grateful when it comes to your philosophical beliefs. Like this is when you'll really be diving deep and enjoying it. And as time goes by and Venus starts to move away from Pluto, you're really going to be enjoying traveling. Even though Mars in retrograde may kind of block it a bit, there may still be opportunities where you're really enjoying traveling, enjoying education, or really enjoying learning. So that's going to be key for you this month as well. Let's get on to December the 15th, the second half of the month. We have two really important things occurring. We have a full moon in your sign at 23 degrees, and we also have your ruler, Mercury, going direct at 6 degrees of Sagittarius. Starting off with a full moon. So like I said earlier, if you've been going through any type of relationship issues or challenges, or you've been working through a relationship, or even the relationship that you've just got out of, things are moving forward now. There's been a lot of back and forth, a lot of really diving into the depths of your soul, but and by that I mean the Gemini way, but now it's time to move forward. It's time to move forward, and anything that you needed to let go of, anything that you needed to release, you can expect to move forward, not in just relationships, but also when it comes to your own individuality, when it comes to your own independence, when it comes to your life path and purpose. It's going to be major for you. So things are going to start to look much better. The mist or the fog of Mercury retrograde is going to start to calm down now, and things will start to become clear. There'll be more clarity and progression occurring from this full moon in Gemini and Mercury going direct. So it's looking positive. Yes, you know, there can be some residue energy and some tension, but still things are moving forward and life is looking good because you also have Jupiter in your sign. So it is expanding you in so many different ways. It's expanding your mind, how you feel about yourself, your independence. It's expanding relationships as well. So look ahead because the future is looking bright and looking like it's on your side. So a great time for you. December the 21st, we have the sun that moves into Capricorn. It'll be moving into your 8th house. So this is where there's going to be a lot of energy. The 8th house rules over shared resources. It rules over spiritual transformation and healing in your psyche. And this is a very magical, mystical area of life. There's the mundane version of it and also the magical version of it. And this area of life is also going to be super emphasized, not only because the sun is shining and illuminating this area of life, but also because on December the 30th, we have a new moon in Capricorn at 9 degrees. So you can definitely expect a new beginning, a new cycle, a new change, some new progression and expansion occurring regarding this area of life. Okay, so talk about spiritual transformation. It's going to happen for you, definitely. I mean, there's so much expansion occurring already in your life with Jupiter and then having a new moon in your 8th house. Although the 8th house is a very intense area of life, there's still so much reward here. Although it can be like a very serious area of life as well, there's still so much magic available here. So whether that involves what you share with others, the resources you share with others, or whether that means spiritual healing and transformation, whatever it may be regarding those themes, there is something new that will be changing and occurring for you. So Gemini rising, I hope you have an incredible, blessed month and an incredible full moon in your sign. And things are looking amazing for you with Jupiter blessing you this year. And I will see you in your 2025 horoscope. Catch you later.